Hello Company of Heroes fans, RUKAclAikaz here. A week has passed and here we are again with yet another Company of Heroes gamecast. In similar fashion to last week's cast, this week we once again feature Company of Heroes Retail Beta Patch replay and an opposite fronts faction, namely the Panzer Elite. If you remember, in the last cast I was saying that the replays are really not so common out there, that good features as armies and especially the beta patch, but I guess I got lucky and this morning I just saw a couple of them. I picked this one and I guess we are ready to go, but before we start I should quickly cover the changes that have been implemented so far and which I think are the most important in this matchup. So for the Americans, of course, the increase in the suppression threshold of the engineers, as well as the their quicker recovery from being suppressed, is one of them. The change in the strafing run being less effective against single squads and more effective against squads clumped up together. Now how that exactly plays out is an issue that a lot of people are trying to figure out, but I won't go into the details about that. And of course one of the latest ones, the change in the way riflemen gain veterancy. Not much of a deal, as some people have pointed out, but still it stands to reason to remember that now riflemen won't gain veterancy faster through their bar upgrades or the sticky bomb upgrades. They will get it through the supply yard level 1 upgrade. Anyway, as for the PE, what is important is that their Panzer strikes accuracy against moving M8s has been increased by 0.7 to 0.9, meaning they will hit most of the time. Why am I trying to do a German accent there? An English German accent. Anyway, forget about that. It never happened. The G43s have been reworked and are now kind of more effective than they were before. Maybe even better of their 2.301 state, but that is under investigation as well. What else am I missing? There have been some changes here and there in the armored car veterancy, giving it more health as it vets up. The hotkeys has been given some love, but still is kind of underused. Some increase in the cost of the AT half-track straight breaker ability. Anyway, some minor changes here and there. We'll see how they play out. You can always take a look at the release notes to see what has changed specifically. So, without further ado, let's go into the game. We are past the 5-second mark, and we be pausing in 3, 2, 1, and pause the 6, 7, 8. So, about the players. In the south of Langres, we have RUKAclAikaz. Ruka is, of course, a clan, so his handle is Aikaz. And in the top of Langres, we have GR's own Complexity. I am pretty sure Complexity used to be a strategy specialist over at GR. Now it's a moderator. He is a moderator. She is a moderator. I think it's a C. I messed it up. Okay, don't quote me on either of those things, either the gender or the position on gr.org. Anyway, starting at the Panther Elite, as I said, in the north of Langres, opening with the standard 2 Pigren squads and a Ketten. That's capping the nearby medium fuel point. American player built, of course, his barracks. We're not going to be seeing any 4ES out of him. Quickly building the B player, the Kampfgruppe company, at his or hers base. which may indicate some vehicles joining the Panzer Elite army soon. On the other hand, the American player proceeds to cap the vicinity of his base, nothing extremely unfamiliar with what we have been seeing from American players so far. G43 equipped Panzer Grenadiers make their way to the medium fuel point to the east, and they open fire some engineers there. Unfortunately for our P player, the engineers will have ample time to cap that specific victory point. Now the riflemen close in on those P-grens, but the P-grens quickly take cover into the building, and they will be safer now. American player kind of regroups, gets into some cover, and proceeds to cap the strategic point, which will of course connect the fuel that he just capped, and will give him all that all precious fuel income. I should point out that this time that he seemed to be skipping the high munition point to the west in favor of the medium fuel point, which is not really uncommon, but just an indication that we may be seeing some fast vehicles by our American player as well. As I said, the early Kampfgruppe company building indicates an equally early addition of some vehicles in the P army, and that is of course an infantry half-track. An infantry half-track that has been changed in the way that it now is a bit more effective against units in light cover. However, those riflemen were in heavy cover. Still true that the infantry half-track managed to dislodge them. However, it took significant damage in the course of that attempt. Was brought down to almost 10% health, almost went down to that, but you know, the rifleman took some damage as well. The P player feels kind of safe harassment wise because of that retreat of the two rifleman squads. But there is the third one out, as is customary, and most probably one more following them. So he'll have to address that as well. Second infantry half-track coming out for our P player, and if my memory is any good, that was kind of an actual strategy by our P players going to half-tracks and usually 4 P-grens and then taking up even further. Other well-known P openings or strategies, if you would be of course the P-gren spam, accompanied by G43 spam, quick tech to armor cars, quick tech to light AT half-tracks in case you were fearing fast M8s, quick tech to P4 infantry support tanks if you were that good, etc, etc. The P has been kind of a versatile faction as far as their openings are concerned, so which is kind of nice actually. Some P grenadiers in danger of going down to the east of the map. They are backed up by that infantry half-track. However, 3 rifleman squads are going to be more than enough in order to take care of those Panzer grenadiers. In a sneaky move by our P player, he decapped the medium fuel point to the west of the map. Now some P-grens under fire from those engineers. However, the engineers are in grave danger of going down, and the American player seems not to pay attention because all of his mental strength was focused in the far east of the map, where he managed to take out the infantry half-track and force a retreat on those P-grens that were either in it or around it. I wasn't so sure. I was focused on the fight in the west between the engineers and the P-grens. Probably I'll get what happened with the half-track on the video. So with one half-track down, the P player will most probably have to consider what he is going to be doing with his or her vehicles from now on. let's see if he's going to be investing in any more vehicles. For the time being, he's building a Panzer command. So Panzer, of course, production building for the armored cars as well as the Marder 3s. And given that the American player has gone for some bar tech, I could say that the unit you will be seeing out of the Panzer command is an armored car. Back at the American base, no other building has been built except for the barracks, and however, the American player will need to figure out a way to address not only the infantry half-tracks and the G43s in them, but also the probable armored cars that will be on the field anytime now. So in that direction he builds his Trias Center, because most of his riflemen have been brought down to really low health, and would be unwise of him not to do something like that. Some riflemen getting slowed down by the G43 suppressive volley. Another change regarding that particular ability is that it now lasts for only 5 seconds instead of 20, but it has it is also able to suppress the squad and not only slow it. So that goes hand in hand, I guess, with the change in the suppression threshold of the engineers. Now, if you want to suppress them, you need to use like a suppressive volley ability, which of course costs munitions. But that's something that the P players will have to figure out eventually. Once again, the infantry half-track at pretty low health, loaded up with 2 big run squads, returning towards the P players' base, probably to get repaired there, or just unload so that the P grunts reinforce. And here we have at the 8-minute, 50, 51, 52-minute mark our first armor card out of the Panzer command. While this was happening, some Pigrants took heavy losses in the west against a squad of riflemen, but the riflemen took significant casualties as well. However, they're still around. They are going to cap that medium fuel point. Back to the American base, no other indication of the building, just the Tri-Center and the barracks. I'm really kind of wary of the American players sticking with riflemen for that long in the game. Specifically, because of the fact that the armor car has made an appearance, and riflemen alone won't be able to deal with it, unless of course the armor car hits not 1 but 2 mines in succession, one by the central victory point, the other one just by the opening and that 2 buildings by the high munition point, and the armor car goes down. That were some mines that really paid off for our American player. That seems to be favoring some, I would say, stationary positions for his riflemen, taking cover in the building to the east of the map and opening fire on those pig rens and the infantry half-track. However, the long range at which he is engaging the pig rens is going to be beneficial for them, not for him. So unless his other 2 riflemen make their way there rather fast, it's going to be a tough day for those riflemen in the building. But the reinforcements are here. The infantry half-track is in danger of going down. Suppressive volley being used on one of the rifleman squads. However, they're going to be able to recover shortly. The infantry half-track does go down to the fire of the bar riflemen, and the 2 pigrons that were around have to retreat as well. I'm gonna focus a bit on the B player's base to see if he has or she has researched defensive operations, and yes, that is of course the case. Defensive operations, one of the most important upgrades, I would say, for the P players, not only because it heals up your squads that sometimes really need it, because of their number too. Because it's not uncommon to see a pig run squad, a 3-member pig run squad that have health, and which